Whoa, what's going on, guys? So, been running around a lot today. I have a lot of work to get done. I'm gonna get back to the house, but I was in a rush. Picked up a protein shake, and I know what it looks like. All right, protein mocha. So it's coffee, whey protein, fat-free chocolate syrup, which is just a gimmick because all pure chocolate syrup, if you get Hershey's chocolate syrup, it's fat-free. But hey, it's fat-free chocolate syrup, right? And skim milk. Skim milk. It could have been worse. It could have been almond milk. But that gave me a good idea for a video because there's good milks, there's bad milks, and, let's talk about milk. The good, the bad, and the gay, right? Good milks. What are your good milks? And I'll go into why afterwards. First of all, let's talk about why people think milk is bad to begin with, right? Real milk. So, most people are afraid of two things. They're afraid of calories, and they're afraid of fat. And they don't know why. When it comes to whole milk and real whole milk, we're not even talking raw, just regular whole milk that's pasteurized and you'd buy at the grocery store. People see whole milk and they get scared because it has more calories than any other milk on the market, because there's lactose in it, because there's carbs in it, there's fats in it, there's protein. The protein, it's not scaring them, but they don't know why it's so good for you, So first of all, let's talk about the protein that's in milk, right? And why it's so good. Milk protein, animal-based protein, it's a complete amino acid profile, meaning that, hypothetically, if you got all of your protein from just the protein that comes out of whole milk, it's all a complete amino acid profile, and you can build whatever muscle you want on it. You can develop your body, you can repair any cell in your body with it, because you're not lacking any of the three main amino acids: valine, leucine, or isoleucine. When your body's lacking any of those, I gotta get the sun out of my baby blue eyes. It's bright. But when you're lacking any of those, your body can't actually metabolize it. So when you see this protein in oat milk and almond milk and soy milk, none of them are complete amino acid profiles, meaning that it's lacking the ability to work in your body. It's a funny looking private jet. I'm near a private airport. But it's lacking the ability to actually do things in your body that protein is supposed to do. So when you have an incomplete amino acid profile, I want you to think of it like a pill capsule. Let's say you're sick and the doctor prescribes you amoxicillin. Amoxicillin is an antibiotic, and it typically comes in a regular, digestible pill capsule, right? Not the tablets, but the capsules themselves. Now, without a complete amino acid profile, you could be taking these pill capsules all week long, but they were empty. But the bottle says amoxicillin on it, right? However, just because it says amoxicillin, just because it says protein, doesn't mean it's actually gonna do what it's supposed to do. You see what I'm getting at here? If you're taking empty vitamin C capsules and there's no vitamin C powder in there, you're not getting vitamin C regardless of what the jar says. Now, that being said, that's what an incomplete amino acid profile is like. Even though it has some of the proteins, but if you're living a life where you never have any complete amino acids in your body whatsoever, it can't make up for that difference. And now, getting a convoluted twist on it in a way, let's say hypothetically you eat eggs in the morning. You're not a vegan, right? You're smart. You're better than that. You're eating eggs in the morning, you're having steak later at night. In the middle of the day, you skimp out on protein. You're missing your animal-based proteins because you think there's enough protein in, let's say you drank a half a gallon of almond milk, for argument's sake. Well, the body can't store protein. It can't store amino acids. It can store fats and carbs and water. It cannot, and salt, but it cannot store protein. Meaning that if you think, well, even though the amino acids I was eating in the middle of the day were incomplete, let's say you just had a vegan-based diet in the middle of the day, it's a perfect example, and all of it was incomplete amino acid profiles, because you can't have a complete amino acid profile from vegan-based diet or a vegetarian-based diet, you'll find yourself in a bit of a predicament. Because those amino acids that you're lacking, it's not going to hold on to the ones that you had in that meal, if that makes sense. So let's just say you were lacking isoleucine, right? That's usually the one that's lacking in vegetarian-based food, or anything that's not animal-based. That leucine and valine amino acids, they're not going to stick around your body all day until you get onto the parkway. Thank you. Or until you eat isoleucine later on in the day. They're going to dissipate because your body can't store it. The temperature in your body is going to burn up those amino acids. They couldn't attach to anything because they couldn't get utilized, so they end up going to waste. Now, the other reason people are afraid of milk, is fats. They don't realize that cholesterol is actually very good for them, and you need cholesterol. It looks like the sky is going to open up like a cow's udder all over us. Covered in milk. Covered in raw milk. That's a whole different animal. But we can go into that later. We'll go into raw milk another day, which I've gone into before, but we'll go into it again another day, and why it's great for you. It really is great for you. The only good argument people have against milk is that they're lactose intolerant. Now, every mammal on this planet is not born lactose intolerant. Far from it. You know, you have an oddity here or there, but for the most part, they're not born lactose intolerant. Mammals always have the ability to release a certain enzyme in their stomach called lactase. Lactase is the digestive enzyme responsible for breaking down lactose, which is milk sugar. Now, when you don't have lactose for a long time, aka a baby stops, breastfeeding, what happens is your body goes, hey, we no longer need to produce lactase because there's no more lactose coming into our body. So why bother producing it? You have to remember, as far as the animal kingdom goes, right? We're the only species on this planet that continues to drink milk past infancy. Because afterwards, every other animal on the planet, the mom stops producing milk and the baby goes and finds it. But humans, we get milk elsewhere. We get it from other animals. And cheeses and so on and so forth. Right? So unless you really have a problem with lactose, you can still have lactose-free milk, which all they do is add the lactase enzyme in there. It's whole milk that they add the enzyme to so that it's broken down when you drink it and there's no problems, right? As far as, for example, in my diet, I drink a decent amount of chocolate milk, like maybe a quarter gallon a day. Now, it's because I'm bulking, right? I'm trying to put some weight on me. That's about 1,000 calories a day in chocolate milk, a little less, which is crazy. But I drink the Lactaid brand chocolate milk. And now this isn't an advertisement for Lactaid or anything, far from it. That'd be nice, but it's not. because I drink so much of it that does milk bother my stomach? No, not at all. If I'm drinking a quarter gallon of it every day, yeah, it might start to bother my stomach a little bit. I can eat cheese and I can have, fettuccine Alfredo and all that good stuff, and my stomach's fine. If I drink a quarter gallon of straight whole milk every day, John's tummy might hurt a little bit. If I eat a pint of ice cream, a whole pint in a sitting, can I? Sure. Have I done it before? One too many times. Will I ever do it again in my life? I'm sure I will. But am I going to feel great afterwards? No, of course not. It's a lot of dairy in one wild sitting for no reason, But dairy's a really good thing for you. Greek yogurt has great probiotics. As far as cooking, butter is the best thing in the world to cook with. I cook everything I have. Everything I cook. If I need the pan slicked, it's in butter. Every time. Nothing but good for you. Even if I'm dieting, to be honest. If I'm in prep, it's another story. At that point, I'm really cautious with what I use. But I'll never use the canola oils, the PAMs, the seed oils, things like that. It's either butter or it's nothing. Or coconut oil if I'm really watching. But cow's milk and all of its products is really a godsend, man. It's a great tool, and it's the reason humanity is where it is today. But I went off on a bit of a tangent there. Let's bring it back to milk and why the good, the bad, and the you-know-what, right? So, almond milk, soy milk, oat milk, each of them have their own problems. Let's talk soy milk first, because soy milk is the easiest one to really bash, for reasons we all understand. Soy milk is made of soybeans. Derived, you get soy milk, right? Once you go through the processification to get it, out comes soy milk. Soy is incredibly estrogenic on the human body. For men and women, estrogen suppresses testosterone. The more estrogen you have, the more your hormones are messed up, the fatter you get. And it does nothing good for you, both anabolically, hormonally, emotionally, anything. Soy does no good for you whatsoever, and it's not a complete amino acid profile, so if you're thinking getting protein from it, you're not. Let's talk about almond milk. Almond milk is the least bad of the gay milks, let's say, right? Almond milk just kind of doesn't have anything to offer. It's not going to hurt you. They do add some sugar to it just to try to offset the flavor a little bit, but besides that, it doesn't taste good in coffee. It's not real milk. Same thing, not a complete amino acid profile. And when you have something like a skim almond milk, where you're not even getting the cholesterol, the good cholesterol you get from almonds, and there's no such thing as good and bad cholesterol, but I'm just simplifying right now. You're even cutting off the fats you get from the almonds. You're just drinking dirty almond water at that point. Lastly, oat milk. Oat milk is the biggest fad of the modern day milks. And man, I swear, I'm going to make chicken milk. I'm going to make chicken milk for you guys so that you can get a lot of protein in your coffee, and it's going to taste great, as far as I'm concerned at least. But oat milk in particular, if you have 1 cup of oat milk, it is a higher glycemic index than a large fry in a Coca-Cola. The way they make oat milk and the chemicals they put into it to make it taste like anything is so outlandishly bad for you that your body's insulin production, because of it, just goes AWOL. It goes through the freaking roof. Because it doesn't know what to do with all these chemicals. It doesn't know what to do with all these seed oils and the sugars and just the processed chemicals in there altogether. I could go on a tangent about what they put in this oat milk stuff. It's nonsense. To try to be milk. If you want to have milk, just have milk. For me, I like my coffee dark. I can drink black coffee. When I'm in prep, I drink black coffee. How do I prefer my coffee? Some raw sugar and just a splash of milk or a splash of half and half. That way it's just It's not black, it's just very, very dark. And for me, I enjoy that. You know, I have a good time. That's my enjoyment coffee. They say, not they, I guess I say, when your coffee is over 400 calories, or even 200 calories, when your coffee hits that 200 calorie mark, you don't like coffee. You like milkshakes, right? Because there's no cup of coffee on this planet that's going to be over 200 calories and still be a basic cup of coffee. You have your vanilla bean nonsense and your chemical coffee mates and all that jazz. You don't like coffee, you like milkshakes. And you know, the sooner you accept that, the better off you'll be. Because you'll stop going to Starbucks, you'll stop going to Dunkin', and you'll go to Wendy's. You know? You'll shorten the line for the rest of us. But that's what I got for you guys today. So, what's the difference between different milks? The biggest difference is that the other ones aren't milk. As far as skim milk goes, real quick, skim milk is just whole milk they skim the fat off of, and a lot of it. And, you know, a lot of the good parts of milk is in that cholesterol, so not great. That's the bad milk, right? The good, the bad, and then, you know. So, that's it, you guys. Appreciate you sticking around. Welcome back. Or welcome period if you're here for the first time. If you have any more video ideas, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow for what is going to be a bicep blasting freaking arm day, baby. Let's go.